That's heads. That's tails. We're going to let it hit the ground. It's tails. Excuse me. Heads. Tails. Yep. Sorry. Which way you want to be? This way. You want to defend that end. Okay, you're back that way. Miami, you'll be on offense. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Okay, so for Miami, James, its last overtime game was against Georgia Tech in 2019. And that was a loss to Georgia Tech 28-21. And for Virginia, it was against their rival Virginia Tech in 2018. And that game going to overtime. And in 2018, that was a loss at Virginia Tech 34-31. So there's your historical perspective. I mean, this is right in line with Halloween. This is strange, spooky, scary, eerie, suspenseful, all wrapped in one on a Saturday in Charlottesville.
Even down to the coin toss. And Virginia choosing to take it down to the end of the hill, but the Oompa Loompas are gone, so they won't be a factor.
Oh, where did they go?
Yeah, where did they go?
How can you lead? We're in overtime.
I know it. All right, here come the Canes. Parrish in the backfield next to Jake Garcia.
Each team will get a possession from the 25. 125 yards through the air for Garcia, 15 of 26 in regulation. Running game, Parrish bouncing to the outside and twisted down. 3 and 4 blue shirts led by Jonas Sanker, the sophomore from right here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Just a yard.
Haven't called Sanker's name much today, but the strong safety has been a huge part of this football team. The sophomore from the Covenant School right here in Charlottesville played 8-man football in high school. He was a very important man right there to make sure he dropped Parrish before he got it turned north and south.
Canes have lost 4 of their last 5, but they have a heartbeat in overtime. After the Borregales field goal in the final play of regulation. All kinds of pressure. Garcia got it away to the end zone. It's incomplete. And a clean play in the end zone. No markers. And once again, Sanker was back there with Brashard Smith.
Yeah, Sanker banged up. The Who's brought the blitz. Great job, the protection, so plenty of time there for Garcia. Nice coverage by Sanker. Here's your 3rd down and long now.
Miami's possession of the first overtime period. Garcia staring at that sideline for further instruction. Play clock down to 5. They just do snap it with a second on the play clock. Garcia unloads down inside the 5. And Virginia had the best chance at that one. Fentrell Cypress got his hand on it, looking for Colby Young for Miami. 4th down.
Nice push up front. They almost get to Garcia. Enough to disrupt him a little bit. Great coverage down the field by Cypress. The junior out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, has had a couple big breakups in this game. Almost had a huge pick in overtime. And not ideal for Borregales. 1-yard gain to help him out as he tries to score the first points in this first overtime.
This from 42, season long is 48. Borregales through the uprights from Miami. Connects on the last play of regulation. And here in the first overtime, the Canes take a 9-6 lead.
Again, nice snap and hold, just drilling it. Borregales, great job. And I believe I called Mason Napper earlier. Clay James marked at the long snapper spot, but Mason Napper, the Warfel Trophy finalist, snapping it to get it started. And the punter with the good hold in Headley. And Borregales puts him up by by 3. Great job by the defense of Virginia once again. John Rosinski, the defensive coordinator, still keeping him out of the end zone. Here's Brennan Armstrong's shot.
Armstrong trying to run it, grabbed around the ankles and brought down. Maybe one. Caleb Johnson in there. Roy Flagg Jr. as well. How about the effort by both of these defenses today? We have not seen a touchdown. And in my previous 99 games, James, of calling ACC football for Bally's and Raycom, I don't remember a game without a touchdown. It may be that a TD decides this game. Remember, if Virginia scores a touchdown, the game is over. Of course, they need at least 3 to extend it into a second overtime. 5 of 14 on third down in the game.
Interesting play call here. The fake pitch, try to send those backers out after the sweep. Flagg staying home and making a nice open field tackle to force this third down. Otherwise, Brennan Armstrong may have the first down. Good play by number 11. Here's your third down.
Lavelle Davis Jr. in motion. Jones is the back to the right of Armstrong. On third down, the left-hander eludes the contact, but then he gets taken down at the 25. Leonard Taylor, and that's significant because the field goal attempt pushed back with the loss on the play. They lost 4.
Leonard Taylor, and again, these rushers for Miami, they have done a lot better job of locking down those rush lanes. And here's Taylor, who's not going to make it deep into the backfield, but instead shucks his blocker, steps off, flattens, and able to drop Brennan Armstrong.
Will Bettridge, after the 4th sack of the game by Miami, from 41 yards away to extend this football game. Bettridge knocks it through. He's 3 for 3 in the game. Let's go to OT. Number 2 tied at 9. $41-yarder. The Cavaliers and the Canes got to play more football. Jared Raymond, the holder. Bettridge, who took over the kicking duties for Brendan Farrell this season. Bettridge 3 for 3 now, James. He is 6 of 8 on the season. How about the nerves of the freshman? And guess where Bettridge is from? Miami, Florida. Oh! How do you like that twist?
Yeah, you can bet that.
I'll take mine with a twist. Once again, a refresher course on the overtime in college football. We just saw the first OT. Now in the second OT, if you score a touchdown, you must go for 2. If we get to a third overtime, it will be just 2-point conversion attempts from the 3-yard line. And now Virginia will start with the football in our second OT. First and 10 from the 25. Armstrong. Maybe a yard or so to the 24. Jared Harrison Hunt on the tackle of Armstrong.
Hard fought against this hard-charging defense. A designed run play for Armstrong. And boy, has Miami done a good job here in the second half. He was the only thing that really hurt them on the ground in the first half. He's hurt him a little bit here in the second half with his arm. Let's see if they go to the air right here. Miami walked up, showing 4 men coming. Jafari Harvey skips it.
Incomplete to Wicks. Short hop at the 20. So Armstrong, James, has rushed the ball 20 times in the game. Now, he's been sacked 4 times as well, but he's officially credited for 20 rushes, 67 yards as the leading rusher for Virginia today.
And again, here's a situation a couple times in the first half where you had some defensive linemen trying to be the guy. play within this scheme, because a 16-yard run, a 20-yard run in the first half on a third down and long by Armstrong when they didn't bottle him up.
Pressure from the edge. He slings it down near the goal line, deflected away. Cameron Kitchens, number 24, looking for Wicks. That's incomplete. It's fourth down.
Nice job. And again, nice job by the pressure. Kitchens, glad to see him back out there after he was helped off the field earlier. Great break on the football. Reading the eyes of Armstrong. One more time.
Same exact distance. 41 yards away. Will Bettridge. Hits the upright and good! Off the left upright and in for the freshman. He's 4 for 4. 2 field goals in overtime. And both from 41 yards away.
Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange?
Oh my
goodness. Halloween weekend. Getting it started the right way, huh?
What an awesome replay to take a look up at that upright. Heavy metal for Bettridge, and it's good. Take a deep breath, because we're not done. Now the Canes turn. Number 17 is 4 for 4. 27 yards, 24 yards, and 2 from 41 yards in each of our overtime periods. Canes with the football. Gonna need at least 3 to extend this game. Parrish. Behind his blockers on the right. About 2 for Parrish. That is a hard-working running back for Miami today, James. 109 yards rushing on 23 carries for Henry Parrish Jr. This is our second overtime. Miami's possession in this OT. Virginia just kicked a 41-yard field goal to take a 12-9 lead. Garcia back to pass. Diving attempt incomplete near the 15, and that was Keyshawn Smith. Third down, Miami.
Smith asking for help from the sidelines, a little bit banged up. He's going to have to run out. This, a ball thrown out there, a play call where it's like, let's throw this one out there, put it where only Keyshawn can go grab it, little off the mark so it hits the ground. Just want to be careful with that football. Obviously a turnover, and it's ball game. Virginia win. You got to take care of that rock. Third down and 8.
Timeout. Miami. That's our final timeout of this period.
Gallus already 3 for 3 here today, so you've got a field goal kicker that can put it through and just live to play another overtime, but do not turn the football over.
Prior to this season, the last 3 meetings between the teams had been at Hard Rock Stadium. A win for Virginia last year. Remember, Gallus missed that 28-yarder at the end of regulation. 2020 was a 19-14 win for Miami. Back in 2019, a 17-9 win for the Canes. Once again, off the pipe, Bettridge. I mean, that is a moment for that freshman. And that man, the freshman coach here in the ACC in Virginia. Second overtime. 3rd and 8, Miami. Parrish stepping out to the right. Tackled short of the line to gain, down near the 15.
Virginia defense has done a better job here very late in this fourth quarter, and then on into overtime of muscling up against that offensive line that had taken the upper hand there for a little while, and able to shut down Parrish.
Borregales, 37-yarder to send us to our 3rd overtime. From 37 yards away, And it's good. Bates, how do you feel about triple overtime?
Hey, I'm loving it. Every time we come to the Commonwealth up here, we're destined for a good overtime. A couple of years ago, we had the 6 OTs, and believe it or not, I just saw a great big old grin from head coach Mario Cristobal after that one went through. He's having a good time as well, as we're knotted at 12, 4 field goals apiece. Watch closely. Oh, there it is. See the teeth? I told you. Everybody's loving it. Why not? So now, though, we're going straight 2-point conversion as we've changed those rules since we had that North Carolina-Virginia Tech game a couple years ago over in Blacksburg that went to 6 OTs. Now we're in the third overtime, and we have to start with a 2-point conversion try. And they will alternate, a lot like baseball, a top and a bottom of every inning, if you will.
So you see at the very bottom of your screen there, the teams alternate 2-point conversions in the third overtime and beyond, if that is so needed. 12-12. So Borregales now has made it from 38 yards, 20 yards, and then in overtime, 42 yards and 37 yards. So the kickers have been ultra clutch on this Saturday for their respective head coaches. Bates, I'm nowhere near the field, and I have butterflies like you wouldn't believe right now. This is amazing. Amazing afternoon. No touchdowns. And we won't have a touchdown because it's all 2-point conversions from this point forward. Parrish the back. Miami in triple overtime. Garcia looking to the end zone. And that is picked off in the end zone. Antonio Cleary. So an unsuccessful 2-point conversion for Miami in its half of the third OT.
Plenty of time for Garcia. They do a good job protecting for him up front, an even better job in the back of that end zone. And of course, they're looking for Young across the back and leave it up to a guy from the Sunshine State, Antonio Cleary from Duval, Jacksonville, to intercept it. And a chance for Tony Elliott and the Who's. And win number 2 in ACC play. Oh, that doesn't help. Well, maybe it does, giving you a little bit more room. Things get tight down here.
Multiple players on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We'll continue with the try.
Miami will defend with that ball moved out close to the 8-yard line. Virginia got its first road win of the season last Thursday at Georgia Tech. They're looking for their third home win. And first in conference play right here if they can convert this 2-point attempt.
Yeah, it's a 2-point attempt. This isn't a series.
Armstrong to the end zone. Stevenson defending, incomplete. Overtime number 4 is on deck.
That's good on good right there. Dontavian Wicks and Tyreek Stevenson. Doesn't fall for that inside jab right there on him. Armstrong drops it in there perfectly. Stevenson able to help rip it away as Wicks goes down. Had his hands on it. Would have been a catch with that foot coming down in the end zone. Great job of not giving up by Stevenson as he had a little bit of space in between him and the receiver. And a nice throw by Armstrong. Wicks unable to control it. So the offense will stay out there as we head to overtime number 4. And we're going to alternate these 2-point attempts now for the rest of this game.
Jones is the running back. Kemp's in motion. Armstrong Forced to the left, throws it back of the end zone, out of bounds. Lavelle Davis Jr. running out of real estate in the back end of that end zone. And now Miami here in the fourth overtime has a chance to win it.
And look at these defenders putting the heat on Brennan Armstrong, making sure that he knows running that football isn't an option. And passing it with 15 and 23 back there defending isn't much of an option either.
Yeah, Williams and Couch back there. Tight end broke away for a second, James, but he was just too far away. Couldn't throw back across his body. And now the two-point conversion to win the game for Miami. Garcia still has it. He's trying to get to the end zone. He dives, and he's got it. Miami wins in 4 overtimes. Jake Garcia on the two-point conversion.